Welcome back to Landline, folks, the show where you can pitch a fit or a story and we'll actually listen. I'm your host, Inga Headland, and I'm coming at you live, or as live as Landline can be, every Friday at 3 p.m. Central. This is how it works. You call in, say your piece, and this is a relatively judgment-free zone. I mean, as much as I'm not going to judge you, it's fine. Okay, so today, let's talk about control, or rather the grand illusion of it. For a while, I thought I had it all figured out. I mean, especially when I was in my 20s. I thought if I just said the right thing or nudged people in the right direction, I could control the narrative. I could control my family. I could control how people saw me. And, well, it didn't work. And everything fell apart, obviously. So here's the deal. I was like the filmmaker. My family's a big film family, so everything always ends up coming back to film. I was like Stanley Kubrick, like rigid, obsessive, making everything just so. And I thought if I could control all the pieces, I'd get this perfect, neat story. But spoiler alert, like life doesn't work like that. And it's more like Werner Herzog having a documentary about a man who lives with bears, just total chaos. So things go off script. And if you're trying to hold on to every detail, you're in for a ride that's going to leave you with a migraine and an existential crisis at 28, both of which I experienced, even last week, due to menopause primarily now. But yeah, hence why there was no Landline episode. But anyway, it just makes you fall apart. So Kubrick, this was a man obsessed with control. Like every single light, every single line of dialogue, it was all planned. That's why we got The Shining, which, by the way, might be the scariest movie ever made, in part because you feel like every move is calculated. Like there's no room for the natural feeling of chaos to slip in. Kubrick's films are like if life was in a straitjacket. But then there's Herzog, and he's over here filming people in the middle of the jungle, letting things fall apart in front of cameras, and you're like, I don't know what's happening, but I can't stop watching this. There's something incredibly real about that. It's messy and unpredictable, and you just gotta let it unfold. So when it comes to people, family, relationships, you can't control them. You can't be the director of their story. And that is was a hard lesson for me to learn, because I honestly felt like I'm really good at it. I would be really good at, the world would be such a better place if everyone just listened to me. A phrase I would say not infrequently. Me acknowledging that I can't control people isn't some act of, self-control or something. It's just acknowledging reality. I can't control people. And by accepting that reality, it's what's going to keep me sane. Because if I don't let go, I'm basically fighting a battle with human nature. And obviously I'm going to lose. So that's what I was thinking about today, or this week. And so I wrote about it on my Substack article. By the way, guys, I totally transitioned everything over to Substack because social media was just killing me. So now I'm at thelandlineshow.substack.com. Substack is this sort of website where people, I don't know, it seems to be where everyone who got fired from the Washington Post now writes. But they started having videos and podcasts on there. So it avoids having massive amounts of advertising and whatnot by having subscription-based engagement. But right now I'm making everything free because Landline only works if people participate. So for right now, it's more the merrier. But it's cool because a lot of the people on there are just writing articles, or they're writing about how to get more followers on Substack. But if you find cool people like Garrison Keillor's on there, like John Cleese is on there, and they're just writing articles. So anyway, so that's where Landline is now. And I think it's a good home for us. And yeah, this week it was just about I was in the support group, and the idea of letting people, the Mel Robbins concept, or, it's not hers. We all get it, blah, blah. It's been around forever. I don't know. Jesus said it. Solomon said it. You just got to let people do their freaking thing. You would think this would be a really relieving thing for people to hear, but I was in a support group that was primarily females, and everyone was pissed, specifically the mothers, because they were like, don't tell me that. If I don't take control of what's going on in my family, this ship is going down. And I can tell you, I've tried to let go before and all this bullshit's happened. And when these women were saying that, I was thinking I could totally relate. I don't have kids, but I remember one time getting in a fight with Jake, my erstwhile husband. We were at my younger sister's wedding, and I felt like I had to control everything and micromanage all of this stuff. And he was like, why don't you just stand on the side? Like, who cares? And I said, because if I don't do it, it's not going to get done. And he said, well, just humor me, stand on the side for a little bit and see what happens. And I did, and things started to fall apart. And I took that as evidence that, look, see, I need to be involved. If I'm not involved, my whole family falls apart. Instead of the more real lesson, which was maybe things are supposed to kind of fall apart, or rather they're inevitably going to. So just let it happen, because you're not God, Inga. And like, you're not gravity, you're not inertia. So I spent a really long time trying to control and create these relationships and dynamics. And I just ended up breeding resentment within myself, between other people. And letting go doesn't mean you don't care. It just means you acknowledge the reality that you can't control the outcome. And again, that's not me being like making a choice. That's acknowledging just the reality. I can't control what someone does. And if I keep trying to tell myself I can, it's like if I'm arguing, I can keep this wave on the shore a little bit longer. No, you can't. You're just going to get frustrated. You can keep trying if you want, but that's sort of a waste of time. So that's been on my mind this week, and I'm sure it'll end up being a more relevant lesson for me as time's going on, where it's not just about letting other people live their life. But this was something someone wrote in and said, they felt like, okay, I need to let people live their own life, but I'm in such strong disagreement with where America is right now. And I feel like by not engaging on social media and saying when I disagree with things, I'm letting misinformation be spread. And to that, my initial response is basically, has anyone's mind ever been changed through social media? Or are we mostly just going there to confirm our own beliefs that we already have? From what I can tell, or at least I'll speak from my own personal experience, I've only felt emotionally aroused on social media, like angered or impassioned or inflamed or something. I'm never enlightened. And so all it really does is just create more tension between people, as opposed to bringing more information into the world. So I don't think abstaining from saying that's not true to someone is cowardly. I think it's being wise. And if anything, like best case scenario, it's helping quiet the noise, because all that's happening, the more we engage, is it's just creating more static. And I mean, like, so many wise people through history have always said, the truth will out. Like the truth will rear its beautiful or ugly head no matter what. And it's not because I posted on flippin' Twitter saying like, that's not what Putin said, or some shit like that. Like, I'm not that powerful. I'm not that strong. I'm not that important. And I'm a fucking idiot. And so are most people on social media. So that's sort of my thought about like letting go and letting the world happen, but still caring. I mean, it's part of why I started this whole project of Landline is, look, it's not that I'm like, great, everyone go do your own thing and you're stupid. Like, no, I want to create a space where, great, let's talk about it, but I want to converse and not just like, we can't have the concept that like, oh, I'm right and I'm going to change your mind, because that's just not working. Also, I wrote an article today about, or just like a little post about the root of the word conversation, or like the etymology and where it came from. And it's really cool. Like apparently the word comes from French and then in turn came from a Latin phrase or term, but ultimately, to just kind of sum up that quickly before we get to a voicemail, is that its root comes from a term that meant a way of life as opposed to like something verbal. And it was about how you interact with the world. It's always been about an interaction and an exchange. And oh, hold on. We got to stop because we're getting a call. Hi, you've reached Landline.
Hey, what's up? What's going on? Thanks for taking my call.
Yeah. Thanks for calling in.
Yeah, of course. I'm glad you're feeling better.
Thank you.
Yeah. I watched all the episodes and I've read the stuff on Substack, and I was curious if I could maybe just comment on the show and a couple of the episodes.
Hell yeah.
Okay. First, like, the show is awesome. I'm sure everyone tells you that, but I just feel like I need to chime in there too.
No, thank you. I love that.
Yeah, and I'm really proud of you for doing it.
Thank you.
I love that episode on like courage. And yeah, it was just really inspiring. So, what else? Oh, I know you've like debated going to like different platforms, but and whether it should be a podcast or a TV show and I just feel like you just got to keep the video element, just because I love your facial expressions. I feel like your facial expressions are like a huge part of like the entertainment, even though I know it has a lot of like, like you try to stay on topics of meaning and stuff, but like the facial expressions are, I don't know, I'd say they're an awesome part of the show. And like,
awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, of course. I feel like if you switched over to a podcast, it would be like the equivalent of like, I don't know, the Victoria's Secret fashion show, switching over to a podcast. Like you miss a lot of important stuff, Like,
oh my God. Thank you so much. This is awesome feedback.
Yeah, of course. What else? My least favorite episode was like the pickup artist one.
I know.
Yeah, okay, I'm glad. I appreciate you just going with it. Like,
yeah, man, that was not a great day. Not a great episode.
This, like, a lot of these episodes, like, you feel like you start a little bit in a funk, like, especially the first one, and then, like, throughout the episode, like, you just get happier and happier. And it's just really enjoyable just to watch that. And I feel like that's just a good reason to do the show unto itself. I mean, you seem like you, but yeah, the pickup artist one, like I feel like at the beginning you explained well why you did it, and it totally made sense. But like,
I lost steam. Yeah, I was like, why am I doing this?
Yeah, I mean, it made sense. I mean, you explained it well at the beginning, but
like my heart wasn't in it.
Yeah. I mean, the best part of that episode was like the little figurine at the end. It looked like you're in the same building, like the little figurine. I was like, oh man, it's ending on a high note. It was. I love how you put the little figurine in front of like the camera for a while.
Awesome.
I was like, the episode redeemed itself. You're the ending.
Oh, that's fantastic.
But,
yeah, dude, that's awesome.
Of course. Now I was gonna say, a lot of the times, like the episodes that you pick on your own, like based on your own intuition, like the American Dream, Courage, like the importance of friendship. Those are all really good topics.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. And then like I also love like the religious aspect of the show.
Cool.
It's not in your face, but like the fact that like God comes up, the fact that like religion is part of the discussion, I think that's really cool.
Awesome. Thank you so much. This is so cool to hear all of this. Like, this is amazing. I feel like I'm, like you're a plant or something, because this all feels so nice to hear.
Yeah. Well, I could totally plug your Substack. I read it all this morning, actually, because I wanted to call in and, I know this is your show. I didn't want to drop the ball here. The Substack is interesting, I'll be honest. Like, it's the articles are short, they're well written, so Um,
Yeah, cool. Yeah, I know. I
and
was
then,
curious to see like what people kind of thought about that transition. So I'm glad like you're feeling it so far.
yeah, I've never been on Substack, and I'm glad you explained it because I know people have died. Like, Barry Weiss is on there. I know people have used it, and I'm on Twitter, and so I know it exists, but I never really paid attention to it. But yeah, it's a good medium, and I can see why you did it. So that totally makes sense.
Yeah.
The other thing, the other part that I really like about it is the nostalgia element. Like the '80s shows,
Oh,
like
good.
yeah, yeah. The
Good.
whole thing
That's
was
what we're
really
going
good.
for.
Yeah, and the University Park episode was awesome. Like I went to University Park too. We were like a couple years apart, but
Really?
yeah, oh yeah. Like University Park was just a really special place. But the Naysayers.
Okay, seriously, anyone who's listening, University Park is this magical little land. Like, if you didn't see that episode,
Yeah.
it's the one about the neighborhood hangouts. It's amazing. Oh my gosh, I love that you know University Park. That's amazing.
Oh
Did you go
yeah.
to
It's definitely.
UPES?
Yeah, yeah. Like I said, we're 2 years apart, but that episode, that neighborhood is a little bit like the Shire. Like, I feel like the world around it is like. I mean, there's a lot of bad stuff, and then you go into the Shire and like everything's okay, like, and the
Yes,
world's falling apart.
exactly.
Like, yeah, it's totally okay there.
Oh my gosh,
Um,
that's awesome. Oh,
yeah. So
thank you so much for calling in. This like made my day. Thank you.
of
You're the
course,
best.
no, I just wanted to say, like, I'm really proud of you. I love the show. I'm glad you're doing it. Like you said, it takes a lot of courage to do it every week.
Thank you.
Um, yeah, and I just wanted to say, I think a lot of people are pulling for you, like more people than you may guess.
Really?
Oh yeah,
Oh
yeah.
my gosh, that's so nice. Because yeah, I'm kind of in a vacuum where I'm like, I don't even know if people are watching this or what's happening. So that
No,
means a lot.
I know, and it's hard probably to put yourself out there each week, not knowing, and not even having an audience really, in the sense that you can read their faces and see,
Yeah.
like, it's not like a two-way conversation where you can read the other person and know if it's going well or not.
Yeah.
Um,
Dude, you're the
but
best. Like, that's so
yeah, of
nice and
course.
kind of you.
No, I'm just, like I said, I'm really glad you're doing it. Like I said, like, I love the show. I hope you keep doing it. And
Thank
yeah,
you.
I'll let you go because I'm sure other people are trying to call in. But like I said, I'm just really proud of you, Inga.
Thank you so much, Dan. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. And you have no idea what this call meant to me. Thank you so much.
All right. Yep. No problem. I'll see you.
Okay, bye. Okay, well, that was like the nicest thing that's ever happened to me. Oh my gosh, like, I love that. Okay, we're gonna go to a voicemail because we're coming to the half hour. That was so nice. I love that guy. I wish all of you guys could have people call you and tell you positive things like that. Okay, here we go.
Oh my gosh, it is Aurora, the Strawberry Witch Siren. I hope you're doing well. I know my message was so long last time, so I only have one question for you, and I'm so excited to share it. I just woke up from a nap, and before the nap, I was listening to, it was like ASMR. I love ASMR. Like pebble setting where they like put pebbles on a road and then they like put pavement over it. And I know it's like, it sounds really weird and just random and like, what the fuck, but it is the most soothing thing. And like, I just feel so relaxed and I feel so rejuvenated from listening to it. And I just love it. And so my question is, do you like ASMR? My second question is, if you don't, what are some things that are kind of weird or like silly, strange, whatever, that get you like super calm? Like another thing that I love is I love holding rocks and crystals, as you probably know. I love soft, like squishy things, but I don't like all ASMR. Like I really don't like the chewing ASMR. I think that's really gross, cringe. But yeah, like cement ASMR is cool, or um like tapping when they like do like tapping and stuff. But that's just me. So my question is, what are some unusual, cool, interesting things that make you feel calm and peaceful? And I love you, and have a great night. Okay, bye. Happy Friday.
Okay, Aurora, the strawberry witch siren. First of all, I love you so much. Second of all, I don't fully understand what ASMR is. I thought it was just like people whispering into a microphone and pretending to fold towels. But you're saying there's like a whole subgenre of pavement noises? Uh, like road construction? That can't be right. That can't be ASMR. But this is all new information to me. And honestly, I don't know. I feel left out. Like, I feel like this is a whole area that I should know a lot more about. I super respect it. Super love that you're into it. I respect your love of like crunchy asphalt sounds. I love that that brings you peace. I don't know if I like ASMR because I don't know if I fully understand what it is. I know that like I had my first kind of warm below the pants feeling when I heard Disney's Robin Hood voice. Is that ASMR? As for other weirdly calming things, what do I like? I'm a big like, this is gonna sound so perverted. I'm a big like tactile person in my mouth. So like I like sucking on certain things until they like burst. This is all. Please don't take this out of context, internet. It's like I like to like suck on a frozen blueberry until I can press down on it and then it like bursts in half. That's like very calming for me. Man, Aurora, this is definitely going to end up being taken out of context and all over the internet or something. All right. Okay. Yeah, but this is good. You know what? We're wrapping it out. We're almost done. Yeah. Okay. So folks, let me leave you with this. Letting go is not aspirational. It's not some virtuous goal to achieve through self-discipline. It's just a reality check. It's about accepting what is instead of trying to control what could be. I don't really actually know much about Stanley Kubrick or Herzog at all, which is why I'm probably not even saying Werner Herzog. I'm probably not even saying his name right. I just kind of chose them as examples because I feel like I was like, oh, I should do something with movies, but I don't even, yeah. So anyone who actually probably seen any of the things I was talking about is like, that's not true at all. So you know what? Ignore that. I'm thinking of starting a thing where I offer like pitch deck consultations because that's something that I make pitch decks for a living. And I'll talk about that on Landline another time. But yeah, in the meantime, this is where you come to pitch a fit or pitch a story. You can talk, you can share, you can be free to say whatever you want. We're on Substack now, thelandlineshow.substack.com. Thank you so much for calling in, Dan. You made my week. Thank you for calling in, Aurora. You're so awesome. And call in anytime, guys. It's 615-212-5437. This is Landline, and I'm just here to have real conversations, no strings attached. And yeah, I think that's it.